Against overwhelming odds, he achieved his dream of equality for all South Africans. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918 in a small South African village. His father, a tribal chief, gave his son the name Rolihlahla. At the age of 7, he began his British education, and his teacher gave him the name Nelson. When his father died, Nelson was sent to live with the leader of the Thembu people. He groomed Nelson for leadership, letting him sit in on council meetings, sending him to the finest schools. During a break from college, Nelson ran away to Johannesburg in order to avoid a prearranged marriage. It was 1941, and for the first time, Nelson came face to face with the brutal reality of a racially divided South Africa. He began attending meetings of the African National Congress, an organization that aimed to establish a democratic government. During this time, he married his first wife, Evelyn. A year later, the ANC adopted nonviolent civil disobedience as official policy. In 1952, they launched the campaign for the defiance of unjust laws, and Nelson traveled South Africa in support of that effort. The National Party government took steps to restrict Nelson's movements, banning him from attending any gatherings and confined him to Johannesburg.
He was made the
In 1956, the government arrested Nelson and 150 other activists, charging them with treason. Nelson's relentless dedication to activism took a toll on his personal life, and his wife Evelyn left him. As he waited 4 years for his trial, he met a beautiful young independent-minded Winnie Madikizela, who would become his second wife in 1958. In 1960, the South African government outlawed the African National Congress. Mandela went underground and formed the Mukantu Wisizwe, the Spear of the Nation. Since he was wanted by the government, he traveled abroad, secretly gaining support for the cause. When he returned to South Africa, he was arrested and sentenced to 5 years in prison. While in prison, he was also charged with sabotage and conspiracy to overthrow the government. Mandela stood trial but refused to defend himself because this would legitimize the state's case. Mandela received a life sentence to be served in the prison on Robben Island, a desolate rock island 7 miles off the coast of Cape Town. Instead of being forgotten in jail, Mandela became a symbol for the movement to end apartheid. During the 1980s, several offers of release were made to Mandela on the condition that he renounce violence. He refused. In February of 1990, the government declared the ANC legal and announced Mandela was to be released. Now free at the age of 71, Mandela was named the head of the ANC. His work to help bring an end to apartheid earned him the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. In 1994, for the first time in more than 300 years, blacks in South Africa would have the opportunity to vote for their rulers. At the age of 75, Mandela was elected president in a landslide. Mandela proved to be a master politician, knowing when to be unyielding and when to compromise. Unfortunately, his marriage to Winnie came to an end in 1996. In 1998, Mandela married his third wife on his 80th birthday. The following year, he stepped down as president of the ANC. Nelson used his stature to help mediate the civil war in Burundi. He continues to work with human rights organizations and for AIDS awareness. Nelson Mandela continues to be a defining symbol of how one man can truly make a difference in the world.